Dawson's Rambles.
Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here, taking a little bit of a break from the recent Power Rangers news to talk about some King-ohger news. So if you didn't know, we are getting a time jump. We're heading into a new arc, a new era of the series, and we're heading to space, and we're going to be fighting some space enemies. They talked about in the general description that we're going to be fighting some sort of space kings, like self-declared space king, and now we actually have a look at some of these enemies. So the name of the space king, I'm going to butcher these because they're like insane names that I'm never going to remember these. I never remember the villain names anyways. Dagudito Jordan, and this is going to be, he's Emperor of Bug Organisms, I guess, which is really interesting and probably the most interesting thing about this for me. You like getting a look at these villains is rather cool. You know, they look spacey and stuff. They look like they kind of fit in line with some of the designs we've been getting, but also feel, maybe it's just because I'm thinking about it, they very much feel Kyoryuger-y. Again, that might be just because I'm thinking about it, because of the upcoming crossover. But anyway, the most interesting thing about this main bad guy is the idea of him being like a ruler of bugs. Some people are speculating that maybe he's the original creator of the shoe gods, which would be interesting. I have some slightly mixed feelings on that. Like, I feel like I sit on both sides where I'm like, on the one hand, that's really cool and like unexpected that would tie into this and be this cool expansion on the lore and story we weren't expecting. Not to mention Fury of the Gods, and if this guy's declaring himself a king or a god or whatever and created the shoe gods, that could be tied to that. After all, there's a lot of mysteries about that night that are still up in the air. Even though we're resolving a lot of the current show, like I said, there's still stuff we don't know about. Not everything is resolved, so it could tie to that, which is interesting. On the other hand, when I first heard about the time jump and stuff like that, I liked the idea of us facing enemies that were kind of divorced from all the mythology we had. It would be cool to get a little bit of both. Maybe these guys are more tied to stuff existing than we know, but maybe we'll get some villains that just have nothing to do with it. I just think that's kind of a cool idea to have the, you know, this kind of established mythology and world go up against something completely, literally alien. And then we got our other villains here, which is Minotsuga Mozu, a super powerful fighter. Hirobiru Richie is a sorceress who controls her enemies. And Gorma Rosaria is a speedy ninja-like warrior. And then of course we have one of our regular returning Bugnarok villains too, whose name escapes me, because again I never remember the villain names. But the Bugnarok obviously are still going to be in the mix. I mean, in general, I talked about this when I did a video on the time skip, that I'm sure the Bugnarok will still be around, because I'm going to presume Jeremy's going to be successful at taking control of like being the Bugnarok ambassador. And so there'll probably still be Bugnarok characters around. And you know, they look fine. Like I said, they kind of give me Kyoryuger vibes because I'm probably thinking about it. I think the Emperor guy has a pretty cool design. I think that's pretty neat. It's weird that what's his name? Gira keeps wearing the gold suit instead of red. It's like, it's very Kamen Rider-y almost, where you like take over using your new power-up over your main suit or the last suit and stuff like that. But I'm pretty excited for this upcoming arc. I think there's a lot of potential. I think this whole new setting will be probably how we tie into Kyoryuger. I'll be interested to see if that is in any way related to this, or if it's going to be a separate thing. Yeah, like, honestly, really, we don't know. A lot of the times, I feel like you can kind of predict where Sentai's going, and this feels largely unpredictable. But what do you guys think of our look at our first villains and the idea of us heading to space after a time jump? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can get notifications for my videos. Awesome Rider, signing out.